Hey everyone. If you don't know me, my name's Ross Kenny. I'm almost a senior at NHTI and New Technical Institute, and I'm actually in the radiologic technology program there at the school. I'm almost a senior, and I'm going to be talking about the field of radiologic technology in the medical profession. Most people are familiar with medical imaging, such as X-ray, CAT scan, MRI, etc. And but most do not understand the people behind those control panels who are running the tests, who are taking the images. A lot of them don't understand what those people are. A lot of them think of them as just button pushers, so to speak. But I'm here to tell you that they are not. They are all actually certified, licensed radiologic technologists. If you don't know what a radiologic technologist is, or also called just a rad tech is a highly trained medical imaging professional who is licensed state as well as accredited by the ART, American Registry of Radiologic Technologists, to perform different medical imaging procedures on patients, such as I just said, CAT scan, MRI, X-ray, etc. And most people don't really know a lot about this field. I know I did not know a lot about this field before I went into the program. I never even considered it before I went into this program. So I'm here to talk about just about how, in my opinion, amazing this profession is and just all the opportunities that are available. So to start, obviously with rad techs, also called actually radiographers, you get to work directly with patients, just like nurses, doctors, physician assistants, etc. You are direct, and you are honestly, whether you know it or not, you are directly involved in the medical care of those patients, because in many instances, a patient's diagnosis or treatment, or both, is dependent upon the results of different imaging that the patient gets, such as an X-ray or a CAT scan or an MRI. So you really play a major role in the doctors deciding what treatment the patient gets. So that's kind of cool that you really you play a direct part in patient care. And another thing is when people think of the radiology departments, there are radiologists. Radiologists are physicians who are certified to interpret and diagnose based on medical imaging. So they're the ones who are reading the images, and they're the ones who are making the diagnosis for patients based on the images. And a lot of times, if you don't know a radiologist, they don't know the patients who are coming in for images. They have no idea who they are, what their medical history is, anything. So if you could say the rad techs are really the eyes and ears of the radiologists. We're the ones who are taking the history, getting to know the patients about what's going on, why they're getting the image done. So they really rely on us to take an accurate history for the patient and get the best images that we can, so that the most accurate diagnosis can be made. And next thing I want to talk about with the field of radiologic technology is the variety. There is so much variety in this field. It's actually ridiculous. Like when people think of imaging, they think of just X-ray, and many techs or rad techs do just do X-rays, but there's so many different modalities. Like I just said a little bit ago, there's CAT scan, there's MRI, there's sonography, there's nuclear medicine, there's interventional radiology. You can work in a cardiac cath lab. There's so many different imaging specialties within the field of radiology, and it's not uncommon for many techs to be dual certified in, let's say, X-ray or CAT scan or even MRI, all three. So you can, which is what I'm interested in doing. I'm interested in doing being certified in different modalities in the field of radiology. So that's pretty cool because you get so much variety. It's not just doing you're not just doing knee X-rays all day. You're doing an X-ray, then a CAT scan, and you deal with different body parts, different physiologies, different anatomy, different pathologies. So there's so many different varieties there, which really makes it an exciting profession. And with those modalities, you don't have to go back to school for it. You can actually train on the job. It's called cross training. So you don't have to go back to school. You don't have to, do any of that. So that's really, really, I think a huge benefit of that variety. And another great thing about the variety is the work setting. Most rad techs do work in hospitals, but you don't have to just work in a hospital. A lot of rad techs work in outpatient medical imaging centers, sports medicine clinics, doctors' offices. Some even work for the government, and some actually teach in accredited radiologic technology programs. So it really is all what you want. Like if you want to work weekends, nights, holidays, then you can work in a hospital. But if you don't want that, you just want to work 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, no weekends, then you can just work at an outpatient imaging center. So it really is all what you want as an individual. And it's great that the field of radiologic technology offers that variety. Right, and that's one of the reasons why it's so attractive, why programs get so many applicants for their programs. And the last really great thing, I think, well, not last, but another really great thing about the field of radiologic technology is the education, because a lot of medical professions like nursing, physician assistants, physicians, you have to go to school for an extensive amount of time. You have to get a bachelor's, a master's, etc. And to be a radiologic technologist, you don't need a bachelor's or anything. Most rad techs have just a 2-year degree from an accredited radiologic technology program. Now, and again, you don't need a bachelor's to become a rad tech. If you want to go into like management or administration, or you want to teach, then yes, you will need a bachelor's. But to just be a practicing radiographer, you don't need a bachelor's. So you end up saving a lot of time and money investing in this career. And you don't have to worry about graduating with $100,000 worth of debt. It's only 2 years, and a lot of it is hands-on training. Like I spend more time in the hospital with my clinical rotations than I do actually in the classroom. So it's very hands-on, which I think is fantastic. You're not just sitting in the classroom taking notes. I mean, there is some of that, but most of it is you're learning. A lot of it is on the job, which I think is phenomenal. So this truly is a fantastic profession. I would recommend it to personally anyone who is thinking about a career in healthcare. There's so much opportunity. It's very rewarding. The job outlook is amazing. Every hospital is hiring for rad techs. And it's not uncommon for students to have job offers before they even graduate and take their national boards. And you really have you really have a huge responsibility if you think about it, because X-rays or medical imaging, they produce ionizing radiation, and there's maybe ionizing radiation can or does cause cancer if you're exposed to enough of it. And we're the ones, before we take the X-rays, who are deciding how much radiation the patient gets, what is the appropriate dose. So you really have a huge responsibility to make sure that the patients are safe and that they're not getting an unnecessary amount of radiation, because that could obviously lead to detrimental things. And this is something that one of my professors told us, which really gives you kind of like a sense of pride in this field. We're the only people on the face of this earth who are legally allowed to shoot people with ionizing radiation. Like most doctors, they're not allowed to take X-rays or perform any medical imaging. They can't take. We have to do that. The military can't even shoot people with ionizing radiation. So we really have a huge obligation to make sure, professional and moral obligation to make sure that patients are safe and that we're doing the best that we can to provide them with the best medical care. So this is, again, an amazing profession. I would highly recommend it to anyone going into healthcare, and I hope you consider it.